randomites, or yeah, I think we went with randomites, right?
Yes.
Hello, my randomites. It is your host, Rebecca, for the Reddit Randos podcast. And tonight I have with me my co-host, Justin.
Hi.
Yes, we are here tonight to go on another episode of random stories, as that is what we're here for. Random stories. Just all over the place. Possibly no theme tonight because, you know, we just do a lot of random things.
That's the thing.
That's the best part, though. Just literally sometimes going all over the place, being random about it. There is no, I mean, I guess if you guys like certain things more than others, but honestly, I like going all over the place. It's pretty fun. So should we get into it?
Yes.
Let's get into it. Okay, so the first one is from a month ago, and it's from r/entitled people. Let's just, start the first one off with some entitled people. This one is, Karen tells me I am not disabled. Okay, Karen, what do you got to say about that? This happened today, and I am rather surprised. You see, I am disabled, and I drive. I have a placard. Is it play card? Placard? Place card? I don't know. It says PLACARD. Play card. Play. For those out there who know what I'm saying, and I'm saying it very wrong, I'm sorry. Correct me. So I have a place card, or whatever it is, and even stickers on my card. So I'm guessing it's the handicap sticker. And even stickers on my car to mark it as disabled. I even have my spare cane in the car too, in case my usual one has issues. Someone once broke a cane I was using while I was out, so I tend to be over-prepared. Oh, goodness.
Kick their cane.
I seriously, someone broke my cane. Woo, it has anger issues to break someone's cane. That is unreal. My
Depends
goodness.
what it is.
So, this Karen must be like
it's
usual.
A mean disabled person. It's a way to disable them some more.
Oh, this is just my usual Tuesday. Someone comes over here and bashes my cane, so I bring another one. All right, today I was at a local support group for disabled people and parked in a handicapped spot. I put my place card up. Since we had some smokers, the door was unlocked, but some forget and knock anyways. We thought the knocking was one of the people in the group that was either late or a smoker, so we invited them in. Instantly, this loud woman came in ranting about a car that sounded like mine, going on and on about how real disabled people need that spot, and whoever had that car is not disabled like her. She was demanding it to be moved for a real disabled person like her, and for the offender to apologize to her. See, you just can't come at someone without knowing, you're more disabled than the other. It doesn't matter. If you have the place card and you're disabled, then it's rightfully a spot that you can take.
Disable fights. 101.
This lady's like, I'm more disabled than this person, whoever this person is. It's probably because no one usually takes that spot, and she usually probably takes it. So she's like, who else dares to be disabled and take this spot?
I'm more broken.
Don't say that. That's not true for the disabled. Okay. I sometimes forget to hang up my place card, as I can't always get a disabled spot, so I get up and say, I could have sworn I put my place card up. I am sorry that I forgot. I grabbed my keys and started towards the door. The lady ranting followed me as she ranted at me for not being disabled. Couldn't remember it at all. She kept saying the same things, and I was more focused on double-checking my car. One of the staff that ran the group went with us as they were trying to calm down the lady. Once my car was in view, it had its place card up. It was labeled legally. I pointed this out to the lady, whom was still yelling at me. This lady's not looking right in front of her. Which took a couple minutes, and she wasn't listening. When she finally listened to me, she didn't believe me and claimed to not see it. The staff member with us pointed it out as well. At this point, the lady said, "Oh, I see. Forget I said anything. I didn't see it. Forget everything." And she ran off. Literally ran off. The staff member and I went back to the disabled support group where everyone told me to forget about that Karen. But honestly, I am worried. If she couldn't see all the markings in and on my car that pretty much screamed disabled, then I'm worried about her driving in the first place. So next time I drive to or from my support group, I am going to be more careful just in case she really had eyes that bad and still drives. I mean, if it's right there and there's stickers all over.
I think it's a placard.
Placard. Thank you. So. Thank you. See? I don't think I read that word very often, so I wasn't 100%. Placard. Okay. That makes more sense. But yeah, no, honestly, this person I thought was going to be like, oh, this lady's a, POS and everything. But no, this lady I am worried for this lady, honestly. I'm concerned because she literally just couldn't see it or she didn't want to see it. I'd say she more didn't want to see it because she needed it more or she thought she needed it more. But she took the time to go over to the place and say, whoever took this spot is not more disabled than I am.
It's just someone who needs a bad day.
Who needs a what?
They need a bad day.
They needed a bad day?
That's what they look forward to is bad days.
They look forward to making someone else feel bad.
No, they look forward to them having a bad day.
Why? That makes no sense.
There are people out there.
Hurt people.
Exactly.
Disabled people.
Broken people. Disabled people.
Disabled people.
They do.
That's terrible.
Take away all those rights.
Oh, my word. Okay. Okay, we're going to go to our next one. And our next one is from r/petty revenge. It is from also 1 month ago. It is stopped coworkers from leaving their trash on my desk. I mean, I'd probably want to do that too. Okay, many years ago, I had a corner desk near the door. Coworkers would regularly put their drinks on my desk on their way to the restroom and pick them up on the way back. That would annoy me.
I know what that's like.
I think I picked this one because I thought of you with something with trash that happened at your work. Okay, after asking them not to do that, I put an extra wastebasket at the end of the desk, started tossing their drinks in it. They were often genuinely surprised to find no drink when they came back through. I just apologized and told them that I didn't know who left their trash on my desk, but I needed my desk space to work. They also bumped into my chair while cutting through my work area. These things would happen multiple times a day, and it was always the same handful of people. It was so bad that if I were to roll my chair back 6 inches, I'd accidentally run into them. So that's exactly what I started doing. When I had to get a file from the side drawer, I would roll my chair back and turn sideways to get to the files. I decided that I needed a file pretty much every time someone was cutting through my workspace. Just nonchalantly, like, oh, need a file. It took a few times, but the worst offenders soon stopped after a few interactions between their ankles and my chair legs. I would always profusely apologize and ask if they were okay, offer to help them get back to their desk, write an accident report, etc. I mean, you don't want to, I guess, get caught with HR with this, but nobody was ever seriously hurt or injured, but I'm sure there were some bruises. I'm not proud, but I would do it all over again if I were at that desk in that office.
So they were proud.
I was going to say, they weren't proud, but they do it all over again.
Not
so I'm
proud, but I think I did a good job.
I'm going to say, I'm like, so you don't regret it, is basically what we're saying. We don't regret doing it, because we do it all over again. I mean,
I don't know. I think it's a person that's too scared to say, hey, stop cutting in my work area.
I was going to say, you'd be the person that would literally just bluntly say it out there.
I've done it before. I'm like, hey, this isn't a walking path.
Yeah, no. What is it? So top comment says, some people only learn with violence. Well done. And someone says, historically speaking, violence is almost always the answer to affecting change.
Or what I would do, I wouldn't throw their sodas away or anything like that. I would take it and I would move it away. Didn't hide it. I just put it on a different
spot
cabinet thing. Yeah, it wasn't hidden. They looked for it. They'd see it.
I
would take it and I'd just move it over, put it there, sit down and work. They'd be like, "Whoa, where's my drink?" I'm like, "I put it over there." And they're like, "Oh, okay." It's like, and I wouldn't say anything. They'd say I'm working at the desk. I need the desk. Get that out of here.
Or I'd always put stuff on the area. Like, if there was a corner desk and it was in an area where it's like, oh, I don't really have any stuff there, I'd probably put stuff there so they couldn't put their drinks if they wouldn't think of putting their drinks there.
No, I wouldn't do that still.
I don't know. I try and block off the area.
No, I don't do that either.
I do. It's my desk.
If I'm not using that spot, I don't care. But when I need to use it, you got to move it.
No, I'm saying like as the person sitting at the desk, I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna put all my stuff here.
Well, yeah, if I'm sitting there, someone puts it down, and be like, no, you got to move that.
No, I would start telling people like, hey, don't do that. This is my spot. Like, I want to keep this clean. What if it accidentally spilled and got all over my computer? Then that's on you.
Well, like I said, that's why you tell them, no, don't leave that there. They're like, I put this down? No, not there. Go put it over there. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I would have gone to someone. This is a person who doesn't want to have any confrontation with anyone. And I get it. She was doing it very nonchalantly, like, just like, oh, you know what? I'm just working. I wouldn't
run my chair into them. Wouldn't do that.
I mean, that's just being petty. And this is why it's in petty revenge. It's literally just being petty without telling them and everything. So
it's not hard to be like, hey, can you not put that there?
But this is what petty people do. Instead of literally going to them and, I mean, she has told them to stop a couple times and they never did. So,
she didn't say that.
I thought she did.
No. She just said she didn't like it that they did that.
I swear she said that. She did ask them to stop. After asking them not to do that with the drinks. And then they also bumped into my chair. These things were always done. So I don't know if she told them to stop with the running into them because, I mean, obviously if it's an accident. But the drink thing, she told them to stop and they never did. Sometimes people think the only answer is after you've asked them to stop and they don't stop is to be petty.
Just hit them with a 2x4. It's easier.
No.
Yes.
No. Wrong answer. Okay. We're going to go with our next.
Okay, so some of these stories, I'm only having Justin in about like 4 of them, and they're super quick, but some of these other stories, I have like a couple on my own, I'm going to say out here to you guys, so that way we can keep this at a good hour's recording for all of you. I hope you appreciate that. So we're going to do at least 2 more stories. I think that should be enough, but they're just going to be me. Yay, lucky me, you get to have me. So I'm just going to get right into it. So the next story we're going to get into, and I'll have these kind of spaced out in between the stories I have with Justin and I, and then just me, myself. So that way we can kind of spread it out, but I'll let you guys know. So this next one was like 4 months ago. It is from r/AITAH, another subreddit under Am I the A-hole, basically. And it is labeled, Am I the a-hole for not siding with my wife over our son's ex-girlfriend's pregnancy? Okay, let's get into it. So our son just turned 16, had a girlfriend. She's 16, almost 17, but they broke up about a month ago. About 3 weeks ago, we were informed by her parents that she is pregnant. She is slightly showing. The dates line up with my son's relationship. My wife and I went into a full panic mode. We waited a couple days before telling our son, who didn't know. He immediately said, "It's not mine. I never effed her." I didn't believe him, as I know he is active. He did the sensible thing and asked me for protection. However, he kept on saying they never did it. He said he cheated on her. I had a heart-to-heart with him, and he is an absolute, jerkhead, but I began to believe him. He said he always raps, and he... Sorry, I hate it when people say that. I'm sorry. Okay, he said he always raps, and he has asked for restocks. My wife, on the other hand, still didn't believe him. Both families met. My wife started the conversation just accepting that our son is the father and was trying to figure out a solution, funding, etc. My son spoke up saying it's not his baby as they never had sex. He was genuinely angry. Then he made a comment that I'm going to rephrase. Apparently, they only ever did a certain act. which can't result in a baby, and it was unsatisfactory, so he never went any further with her. An absolute crackhead, and we raged at him over it. His ex-girlfriend admits they rarely did it, but explained the event, the when and where, and I will say it was believable too. I know he's a complete liar. Okay, if you know he's a complete liar, there's a huge chance that he's lying about this too. I mean, you already know how much of a, let's just he's a jerk, he's a douche, but I mean, okay, anyways, I know he's a complete liar. I know he's an absolute dog, but I believe him still. Okay. My wife, however, is angry with me for playing into this nonsense. She said I'm part of the boy culture. She said children born to teen parents are more likely to be teen parents, and we were both 17 when my wife got pregnant. She said I'm worsening the situation by not living in reality, and she is left to figure out what to do on her own. To her point, I am hands off on further meetings with the other family. I don't believe we should have those discussions until it's proven he's the dad. I mean, he's got a point. Like, we don't know. They're broken up. Yes, is there a huge chance that he's the father, especially since it lines up around the time when they were together? Huge. But then he also admitted he cheated. Doesn't mean he didn't still, like, do things with her to get her pregnant and also cheat. Like, what's that got to do with it? I think that's really weird that he said, like, oh, no, I didn't do it. We never did it. I cheated on her. Like, okay, you can still get more than one person, pregnant. I don't know. Okay, so he goes on saying, am I the a-hole? Also, this is really ranty. I'm sorry, but I needed to leave off some steam. Just to add, her parents don't want to do a paternity test until after the child is born. They said it could harm the baby, but apparently it's harmless, so I don't know. So we cannot get a test done before then. The courts can't order one until birth. And then he puts another addition that he's in the UK. So this is all happening in the UK. So here's a couple things that are just on my mind about this. I think both you and your wife, OP, are totally in different viewpoints of this whole situation. You believe your son, even though you know he's a complete POS, and he's admitted to all these things that he's done, basically being unfaithful to his girlfriend. Obviously, they broke up and they're young, but it doesn't mean he still isn't lying to you as well. And I mean, I guess there's, a paternity test, and the girlfriend could be lying too. I don't know why she'd want, if she was lying. I don't know. I think just when you're young like that, your thoughts of reasonable, like, what's the best is definitely not as maybe like the best result as like when you're an adult thinking these things. So I don't know. It just seems off. I wouldn't go to further meetings with the family. I would just tell them, like, hey, we do need to prove, like, he swears he's not the father. And until then, we will be doing this stuff on the side to save up money for in case that's what I'm thinking. If you want to, like, kind of compromise in the middle, wait till the baby is born, because if that is what the ex-girlfriend chooses, that is up to her. Let her, if she thinks that's the best to just wait till the baby's born, go for that. But here's the thing. If you're also expecting him to pay for things or like for funding and everything, you won't get it because we don't know if he's the father. And I'm sorry, if he swears he's not, the courts won't allow it until the baby is born. And then after that, then you guys can find out. But since you guys got quite a while, you guys got, she's like 3 months along. This was a month ago. Oh, okay. So when this was done, she was, let's see, 16 when they broke up a month ago. She's at about 3 weeks ago, we were informed. Okay. So she's slightly showing. She's barely there. We still got a whole rest of the year to go through, basically 9, probably 7 to 8 more months. And a lot can happen in that time. But here's the thing. You go on, you kind of like, I guess if the mom wants to like kind of, keep in touch and keep updated on how the pregnancy is going, I think that's absolutely fine. But don't be funding this girl because you don't know how, but we can't, I don't know. I honestly just don't think I can trust the son, but I would be saving money. I'd make him go get a job and be like, you're saving money. So all this money that you're earning it for your possible future kid. Cause we just can't believe you. Just because of all the other things you said you've done, and we can't trust you. The girlfriend, I just feel bad. I feel like this is a he said, she said thing, and the result of this huge mess, a innocent baby is going to be born, and I just feel so bad for this baby coming into this family. So, I mean, in that case, that's why I say either get the son to go get a job and save all the money he earns from that job to be for his, future kid, if it's possibly his. If it's not, then he saved money. He saved money for himself then. Perfect. But other than that, it should be for the kid, if they do prove that it is his. Top comment is saying, you do nothing until there's a confirmed paternity test. And I get not doing anything because you can't prove anything until we have the paternity test. But I think you should be saving money at least, just in case. Then you have some money off to the side that if it's proven not to be the son's. But then if it is, you are prepared and not scrambling around. I think that's best. Also keeping in track, updated, at least for the mom if she wants to. So that way she's aware of what's going on. Someone said, yeah, exactly. Without a paternity test, it's just going in circles. Better to wait for proof without making assumptions. And then the person underneath there said, yep, he can be a lying a-hole and also not be the father of the baby. But someone else has said, also, he can lie all he wants until the test results come through. If it's positive, his lies are exposed and no longer germane. If it's negative, he wasn't lying this time. Evidence trumps testimony. I get it. This is the thing. It's like, if he says he didn't, you should not be going over and communicating constantly with that family about what you're going to be doing to help this child until the baby is yours. And I know this is super messy, and I know the mom is just like completely assuming this is the son's kid, and on my side, I honestly think it is, but that's the thing. We can't know until we have proof, especially if the son swears it's not. If like both of them swore, if it was both of their babies and all of a sudden we find out the girlfriend cheated and it's someone else's, then that's a whole different story. But in this case, it's the opposite. Son says it's not his, and yeah, he says they never even did anything. And the girlfriend's like, yeah, we didn't do it much, but there were times. And see, this is where the stories are completely different. And everyone already knows the son and OP, or the wife and OP have already said that that he lies all the time. So there's a good chance, but I don't really know. And there is an update. So there is an update. I guess. Oh, hold on. Okay, hold on. I don't really know. There's a couple updates here. Okay, hold on. So this kind of continues with it. Maybe it was put somewhere else. So he starts off saying, am I the a-hole? The subreddit said, I broke their rules. Too many updates. Oh, okay. So that's why he's posting back on his page. So I'll post it here. The person I messaged to apologize to at Am I the A-hole was very nice and kind. Spent the 800 quid on the test last Wednesday. He didn't seem nervous. He seemed happy. All went well. Thursday morning, I woke up. He wasn't there. Had text me he needed a break for a few days. Wife rang that his ex was gone. Same message. I text and rang him over and over. Oh, wait, so both of them? Both of them are gone? Both have the same text? That's strange. Okay. Eventually, he video called me. His ex was there, too. He said he lied about it all and that the test will probably show it's his. Just... Okay. He told me where they are staying, and they apparently want to talk about it without adults getting involved. I was wrong. He lied. My wife was humble, given everything. Her parents and my wife think... Oh, so the ex's parents and my wife think it might be a good thing to let them talk. They are staying in touch. I don't see the benefit in them on their own. Nuts, in my opinion. So I'm so mad. Maybe it's for the best. I'm done. Also, I don't think I can respond here. Okay, so he's... Oh. So basically, the son and the ex just ran off. And they left without telling their parents, sent a text saying, we need a few days to take a break and everything. Found out they're actually together and they're talking things out, which they're 16, 17. That would be nerve-wracking to me to just know that either my son or my daughter, 16, almost 17, just went out for a couple of days to be on their own. Like, especially if they've never, like, done that before. I don't know if they've done this before. It's just, yeah. I'd be a little nervous. Okay, so there is another update. Oh, there was another update before that. Wow, I kind of skipped a couple updates. My goodness. Okay. Yeah, I skipped a couple of them. Wow, he's had a ton. Okay, so we did find out he lied. So I kind of skipped to that. Sorry, guys. I skipped to a lot of them. Okay, so it comes back to when the girlfriend, I think the ex and the son came back. So my son came home Monday evening, and I had a run-in with his mother immediately. Same language, apparently. I was at work. He went to his friend's house. Later that evening, my wife and I got a few messages. My son was back on social media and had come out with his boyfriend. What? So now he's got a boyfriend? So now he's bi. Oh, I'm so confused. This is so confusing, guys. I'm so sorry. Wednesday, her parents got the DNA results. They had agreed to not open the email without us. My son hugged his ex, and they were acting very close, very friendly. It annoyed me so much seeing them that close. I couldn't explain why. Turns out he is not the father. What? He said to his mom that every parent was a parent apart from her. He said he could have done something stupid. It was more graphic, but a permanent end. And she'd not give a crap. She'd probably cheer it. Questions turned to who the real father is. My son said the baby is gone, so the actual father does not matter. No. I have had to stand between my son and her dad. I told my son to leave and he took his ex with him. I went home and they were together on the couch. Okay, so I'm guessing they went out for those few days to get an abortion. Oh my gosh. Okay. I told my son, okay, so he took his ex with him. I went home and they were together on the couch, cuddled up. I was so angry. So angry. I spoke to him privately and he went back to his old story that he didn't F her. He couldn't get up, etc. Okay. He said the abortion was the right thing to do for reasons. Apparently, it was her idea. She got 2 doctors' signatures or something to get the procedure before he got involved. I don't know. But you let them go by themselves, 2 16-year-olds doing this on their own. That makes me so nervous. Like, what? So nervous. Okay. Like, what if something happened where something messed up? Oh, I don't know. I just don't like this at all. I don't like this. This is so weird. Okay. She admitted it to me, as did their text over the past nearly 2 weeks. She seemed to ask for his help in exchange for the DNA test. That was obviously the reason for their getaway. She went home, no idea what was going to be like for her. Poor girl. He's insistent he won't speak to his mom. I could talk about what he said. She said, sorry, I could talk about, he said, she said, and this is really weird. I'm so sorry, guys. She said, and gave it a lot more detail, but I'm so drained from it. I don't think it's even registered. I've booked a holiday and need a break from it all. Oh my goodness. Okay, so someone commented on that one and it got deleted. So OP had responded. He said he only said it was his so that we'd leave them alone for her thing. The texts are there over the last 10 days or so. He wouldn't show me one text. I assume it's something to do with the father from the context. He said he'll take it to the grave. Wow. Okay. So someone had posted under that, please point out to your son that if the reason she doesn't want anyone to know is that she was attacked or abused, she does have the right to make the decision for herself, but she shouldn't have to carry that burden, and she should figure out a way to tell her parents that she wants to get into therapy about the complications for the past several months. Like, yeah, if something happened that she's not, like, doesn't want to go over, like, something that could be traumatic on her. OP had said, will do. I might let things settle for a week first. Yeah, that just seems like something went down really bad. Okay, so 5 days ago, this is just 5 days ago, the most recent update. It says it's a boring update. So first, this will be my last post before I close the account. Okay, so last update. I just want to say thank you. It was a hard time for all of us, and having a group, even the negative ones, to chat to was a great help. Sorry for being so frantic. I've made my peace that his mom and he, my son, probably won't have a relationship again. I still think that's a shame, but that's life. My wife and I have decided to divorce. What? This whole thing has led to you being divorcing? That's crazy. I love her, but I think we were together from a young age, and that's when we spent some time apart. Maybe we have learned a few things, but still hang out. She's still my best friend. Okay, this is so strange. My boy and I moved home, and she moved out. She wanted to move out as I think she's dealing with a lot of regret, unfortunately. My son is in counseling. His counselor says he's engaging well. He seems very happy. His boyfriend came around for dinner a few times. Nice lad, probably too nice for my son. Like, this is nuts, guys. I thought, oh my gosh. The thing that perhaps irrationally irritates me most is how close he remains with his ex-girlfriend, hugging on the sofa together, etc. She was the catalyst. She may have had her reasons, but it gets under my skin. The suffering everyone went through. I think a clean break would have been best. I know nothing further about anything to do with the baby that could have been, and I don't want to know. There were people suggesting incest. I can tell you it wasn't. My son said it wasn't, and I'm gonna believe him. Her father was never inappropriate with my son either. I'm wondering if she was attacked from someone else, and I don't know. I think that's about it. I did have a great holiday. Well, I'm glad, OP. So we skipped a ton of other updates, at least 2 other updates. I totally forgot. But here's the thing. A lot of it really didn't explain anything as much as it was explaining the meeting with the parents. And let's just say the son was he said some pretty vulgar language about his ex and how she probably went off with other people, and that there was something about the one thing they did together that his mom would probably, the ex-girlfriend's mom would probably enjoy. I don't know. Like I said, here I am saying I'm looking at this. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of concerning behavior from this guy, from this son. So I'm glad he's in counseling. I'm glad he's in therapy. And yeah, I honestly think this was a huge mess. A huge freaking mess. So, yeah, that That's crazy. I'm kind of glad it's ended, because that was a whirlwind. Like, just everything was going up, down, sideways, everywhere. It was so messy. And it just ends up like, now the son's like, oh, everything's back to normal. And I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not at all. You've lost a baby. You're now gay. Your parents are divorcing. I don't know what to think, how that's like just another Thursday. But, yeah, that was crazy. Our next one, and it's also from in a coworker environment in place. So it is from the best Redditor updates, and it is the best Redditor updates posted this 22 hours ago. So it was really recent, but the original post altogether happened in 2020. So it was a few years ago. So the title is, my coworker told everyone we're married. We're not even dating. So, trigger warning on there, it's listed as hostile workplace and harassment. I mean, that title alone? Okay, let's get into it. Okay, last year, I left on a leave of absence for a few months to take care of my elderly parents. Then I returned to work. Apparently, during that time, one of my coworkers began telling people we were married. Not as in work wife, as in legally married, though. And everyone believed him. Everyone believed him. Honestly, I had no idea he had any feelings for me, and I don't even think he knew I would be coming back. I'm an introvert. I keep my personal life private, and I don't talk about myself much, but the fact is, I have a husband, not him, who I've been married to for 10 years. Not wanting to cause him embarrassment, I privately went to our boss, explained the situation behind closed doors, and asked for a department transfer. Even though he's never sexually harassed me or has made a move on me, I am very uncomfortable being around him right now, and I don't want any contact with him. My boss agreed, said she would speak to him, and though she didn't have the authority to move me to another department, she would see to it that we wouldn't be put on the same team together. And kindly offered to adjust the schedule so he wouldn't be in the office at times when I was there. I think that's a good boss. I've tried to handle this whole mess as discreetly as I can, but today I lost it. He walked into the break room while I was in there, and I basically yelled at him in front of everyone there, saying I'm not his wife and to stop telling people that we're married. I know this is not the most mature way to handle the situation, but I was at my wit's end. What do I do? Oh, right. This was originally posted on Ask a Manager, which is actually its own place, which I believe it's someone named Allison who actually runs the Ask a Manager. She's a manager of got quite a bit of knowledge about being a manager. And so a lot of random people would be asking is this normal in the workplace? Does this happen? What do I do in this situation? And so she'll usually give out some advice. So in this case, when asked by Allison for what the coworker did when he was yelled at, OP answered, I think he was in shock because he said nothing but immediately left the room. However, there was definitely a palpable tension between me and my colleagues who had witnessed the whole thing. As I said before, I didn't want to cause a scene or embarrass him publicly. Unfortunately, I was in the moment and I let my emotions get the best of me. I fear there can be no good resolution to the situation either. I've just exposed him as a liar to my coworkers, or they think I'm the one lying, since he's apparently been telling people we were married for quite some time. Since I can't transfer departments, I'm entertaining the idea of putting in my 2 weeks. But I'm still emotionally reeling from what happened, and I don't want to do anything impulsive or make the situation worse. So some relevant comments. I know, too late. You kind of did make it worse, because now we are publicly putting things out there for everyone, even though he's been telling everyone in the office that you guys are married, which is such a strange thing to do.
I don't know if everyone believes it like she says they do. So,
yeah, I mean,
I think she's just being a little overdramatic.
I think
Because anybody, if you're working there for a while and you say to this person, that someone says, "Hey, I heard you're married to so and so," and you go, "Nope, this is my husband. Nope, that's not my husband. This is my husband." They go, "Okay."
I know she's very private with her life, but she could clear
which
it up.
means, which means she probably doesn't talk to anyone, really. She
could-
just thinks everyone hates her. Everyone believes him.
She's an introvert, too. So, yeah, no, I would say she could clear it up literally in, like, 10 seconds, showing a picture of her husband, and they're on, like, their wedding day or something.
Not even then. Just say it's not true. Just leave it at that.
I mean, yeah, she didn't want to embarrass him, so she didn't tell anyone else that those weren't true. But then she ran and yelled at him in front of everyone, which was the opposite of what she wanted to do, and technically what you want to do. Now, I get it. She probably was like, "This is like the worst thing ever. You're not one to speak publicly or be out there with your private, your private life and everything. And all of a sudden, everyone's into your life because you suddenly came back when no one thought you were coming back. And everyone's been told that you are married to this guy who you didn't even know. Or you did know, but aren't even like..."
I guarantee nobody really believes it.
The thing is, it would be worse for him that you came back because the truth is going to happen. But
He's probably saying it as a joke, and it's probably someone that doesn't tell anyone, say, "Nope, it's not true," and he'd be like, "Yeah, it's not true. I was just joking."
Honestly, just having a talk with him and be like, "Why did you say this? Did we ever talk to the guy and ask why he started saying this?" And I don't know. Either she should have kept it not quiet and either to talk to him or have it be like, "We need a conversation with HR and I need this guy in here to give me answers why he's been telling people this." And so that way that can be cleared away. But right now she's running away. And then she starts yelling. I don't know. Right now, this isn't handled right. No, it's not. It hasn't been handled right. This is becoming a bigger mess, and you're just going to have more, I guess, really awkward
She's just
tension.
Someone you probably can't joke with.
I feel bad, though. I mean, it is probably something that would be a shock to come back to hearing all this.
It's not a shock. It's not true.
I know. Everyone handles these things differently, though. Everyone handles these things differently. And if she's not one to kind of go out there and like be like, "Oh, haha," laugh it off, or like, be basically like telling him like, "That's not true, so stop doing that." No, she's one that wanted to hide away and literally just be like, "I don't want to cause any problems." She's a person that doesn't want to cause problems. But then
let me make sure I make everything awkward.
Exactly,
so
because she didn't handle it what was best probably in the beginning by just like clearing this up. She made it worse by yelling at him in front of everyone.
Don't worry, everyone probably believes it now.
I don't know. Honestly, because she yelled and everything and made it very awkward because people witnessed it.
Which is what she said was the problem, was that everyone believed it. Which, no, it's not true. So now that she yelled, and I guarantee everyone knows it.
Obviously,
it's not a problem anymore.
Manager didn't.
A problem anymore.
The supervisor or manager didn't believe it. So,
because it's called a joke.
I don't know. People can be weird sometimes. So maybe he was crazy and started doing that. Either way, she could have cleared it up pretty quickly with the truth. That's the thing. It could have been handled so much better than how this happened. But either way,
said work wife. She didn't even know that's what they meant, work wife.
No, because
yeah, you think a person that actually talks to people and says they're married and everything, and then is gone.
You don't know.
I guarantee she didn't really talk to anybody.
We don't know. Let's move on to the rest of it.
She's guilty. Guilty.
You assume too quickly. Anything could happen.
That's part of this. I can do this.
Okay. So, there are some people who commented saying, speechless, jaw-gapping. Me too. I can't imagine what would possess someone or the coworker to do such a thing. Even more. So I can't imagine how a coworker thought this would pan out. Seriously, how did you expect to have her expect her to react? OP, I'm angry for you. By the way, you did nothing wrong. Even the blow-up was, in my opinion, legitimately called for. Which, like I said, she's probably so full of emotion, she doesn't know how to handle it. So obviously it wasn't handled correctly. She just, like I said, some people handle things or react to things differently. So obviously she didn't know how to react, and it was just all over the place. So another person said, I suspect it's either wishful thinking on Derek's part, which I'm guessing is a coworker, or some ill-conceived attempt to impress people if OP has a good reputation. Or maybe he figured OP would be so impressed by his romantic devotion that she'd marry him for real, or maybe just date him, or that some sort of rom-com wacky hijinks would ensue and they'd get together. Or he has some sort of The Secret type belief that whatever you put out there in the universe, you'll get. Or he just likes telling lies to see what people will fall for. OP had responded to that saying, I thank you all for reassuring for your reassuring and empathetic responses. I like to assume the best in people, that maybe he just had a crush that spun out of control, or as one of you had said, perhaps he has low self-esteem and wanted to prove that he was a likable person or normal. That's why I felt badly about handling it in the way I did, though I know he is the one at fault here. That said, we are both in our 40s, and so I feel like someone that age theoretically should have long outgrown the high school insecurities type behavior. I've been able to avoid him since the incident without feeling too much like I'm walking on eggshells, and my boss, with my permission, has also informed her boss, and they've both been very supportive. So someone else had saying, this is so incredibly weird, and I feel for you, OP, but you shouldn't quit because your coworker has lost their mind. Take this to HR. Do whatever you need to do in order to make work a good place for you. And doubling down on what Allison said, if a coworker shouted at another like you did with the same context, I wouldn't be thinking anything negative about you at all. OP responded, I left on leave of absence in October and came back in June after my state's lockdown was lifted. Because this happened all during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. I found out about a month ago, but wanted to make sure he really was the one who instigated it. I work with a few catty, gossipy types, and I didn't want to damage an innocent person's reputation based on hearsay from the rumor mill. But after I had gotten enough information to put two and two together, that's when I went to my boss and told her that I was uncomfortable working with him and why. So we do have an update. That's 8 months later. I didn't expect my question would even be published, let alone receive so many supportive comments from the AAM community. I only wish my bosses and coworkers could have been that understanding. After a month after the break room scene, I still felt like I was walking on eggshells to avoid my, in quotations, husband. And I noticed that attitudes from my manager and coworkers changing for the worse. I ended up leaving for a similar job that pays better and is just a healthier environment overall. I hate how we call everything and everyone toxic nowadays, but that truly was a toxic environment in retrospect. And the lack of support from my management and HR was finally the big red flag that sent me packing. Some of the commenters mentioned stalking and safety because the man seemed a bit obsessed. While I've seen the guy a few times around town, there hasn't been any interaction between us, and I don't think he or any of my former coworkers know where I work now.
Probably don't care.
Nobody's attempted to contact me, and I can breathe easier. I wish everyone at my old job well. I hope they can learn from this situation, and I thank everyone who commented for their encouragement. Okay, so before you say anything, I thought her boss was on her side. So for management or her boss, as she says, to turn on her, I don't know. Maybe she just wasn't a good fit for this office. Maybe you're right. Maybe they were just having some humor. And he was joking, saying this whole time, like, as she was gone, that, oh yeah, that's my wife, by the way. Mm-hmm. And she said she listened and heard from gossip and catty people about the whole thing first as her research.
Well, she probably didn't talk or say, yeah, that's not true.
We're not getting any answers on why he wanted to do this.
Because it's probably a joke.
Because
Probably what it is.
I don't like how her research on finding this information out was from gossip people.
She probably didn't research.
And because she never even spoke to the guy about it.
Yeah, there's no researching.
She never, I don't know, she never even had a conversation or a meeting with HR with the guy to clear things up. That's where you're right. I'm getting suspicious that she's jumping to conclusions too quickly.
It's just someone who gets very easily offended but won't talk.
Well,
That's what it is.
I don't know. She's an introvert. Maybe she doesn't get out much and socialize, and so that's why she's having trouble, like, realizing maybe it was a joke. And I feel bad, because if it was something that's the thing. We're only getting this side. She's not putting too much detail on if he was ever...
If you've ever worked with someone...
Was he ever being hostile or...
If you've ever worked with someone that you cannot joke with at all, you don't talk to them.
Yeah,
you don't talk to them.
No, because especially at a workplace, because if they take things the wrong way and they go to HR...
Which is what this seems to happen. So yes, no one's going to talk to her because you don't know if it's going to get taken wrong.
Everyone's probably walking... Yes, well, she's probably like, there's
probably one person that has a problem.
I will say, she's like, I feel like I'm walking on eggshells. I bet a bunch of others are walking on eggshells around her because they're too afraid of doing anything around her because she might go to HR.
When you have those people, you just don't talk to them really. You say hi, you ask how they're doing, and that's about it.
Yeah.
You don't go too deep with them.
We heard nothing else about the guy coming towards her, talking to her, and even if he had this like little fantasy that somehow he started telling people,
it
like
was probably a joke, and someone blew it up, and
you just got to be like, "Hey, I don't like you talking about this, so quit it," or you're, eventually if he keeps going, then I'll write you up. Otherwise, you just need to stop. But because she never had one conversation with this guy. We never really figured out if HR ever figured this out. She never really figured out, like, moving. I don't know. Nothing got resolved that she's explaining here. We're only hearing one side of the story.
Yes, it did. She left. That was a resolve.
No, I'm saying she didn't put enough details out on here.
Because she probably didn't care to.
That's the thing. We're not getting the whole story. So if we're not getting the whole story, which makes me think we're not hearing enough... I don't know. I just don't feel like we'd have a consensus on how to help this person other than, leave the place. If it's really making you feel uncomfortable, then leave. If you're not liking it, it doesn't mean that person, I'm not saying what he did was right, but I'm not saying it was completely so wrong that you have to leave everyone or like leave that department or make a scene. Things could have been definitely handled differently. Like, you're in a work environment. We all need to act as adults. And yes, did this guy act as an adult? I don't know what his purpose was doing that. And we don't know how I don't want to say severe. How, I guess.
It's probably just someone looking to play the victim. Probably all it is.
Okay, you're being very judgmental. Like, we don't know her. We don't know her situation. We don't know her situation. She might be just someone. Yes, I should have that sign out and everything about if you don't like my humor, get over it or something like that. Like,
it doesn't matter. You're supposed to be judgmental on giving one side. You got to choose whether you judge that it was good or you judge that it was bad.
I know. I feel bad for her because I feel like she did not handle this correctly and she wasn't in a spot where, because she didn't handle it right, that everything was going to be handled and dropped by the end of it. So yeah, she's like, I'm walking on eggshells. I can tell you 100% that probably others are walking on eggshells around you because of the incident. Whether they like you or not, they're probably worried with everything being so fresh that we probably can't come to this person without, possibly, having someone blow up at them. Like, I don't know. You just don't know. That's probably, they looked at you differently that day. And I feel bad because it's like one little thing that you didn't mean to do can make everyone look at you differently. So I feel bad, but I'm glad you got out. And I'm glad you're in a better position and spot now, OP, that you can kind of start over. So I'm glad it all worked out at the end for you. And probably for that company as well, that who knows, if you don't like, if it was toxic, if there's other reasons why you wanted to leave, then that was probably a good enough thing for all to happen so you could just leave. So, moving on.
Mm.
You've told your story on that. Okay, I have another story for you guys. And again, this is just me for this round for the story. This one is from also r/am I the a-hole or AITAH. Thank you. It's actually from 2 days ago. And I caught it and I was like, ooh, this is a little juicy. So let's get into it. So the title is, Am I the a-hole for questioning my engagement after my fiance got mad at me for drinking while, in quotations, pregnant? So, am I the a-hole for questioning my engagement after my fiance got mad at me for drinking while pregnant? Sorry if this is long, I just need opinions. I can't tell if I'm being dramatic about this. Okay, so I, 22 female, recently got engaged to my fiance, 23 male. We are both still living at home, so to save money to eventually get our own place. I still live with my parents, but I stay at his place most nights because it's closer to work and just easier. So this New Year's Eve, we were at his parents' house with family and a few friends. Nothing crazy, just a normal family get-together. His aunt was passing out champagne to everyone and asked me if I wanted some, but before I could even respond, my fiancé reached out and took the glass. I kind of thought it was weird, but I just ignored it because he can be oblivious sometimes. Just oblivious sometimes? Like, okay. I ended up just going to the kitchen and pouring myself a drink. When I got back to the living room, he immediately noticed my drink and asked pretty loudly, "Is that alcohol?" And I said, "Yes." He started getting really upset. He said he couldn't believe I would do that he thought I was more responsible and I was being reckless. I was obviously confused. And I asked him what he's talking about. He said something like, "You're really going to mess things up before they even start? You're going to hurt the baby." The room went quiet, and I was so embarrassed. I was thinking he must be drunk or something. I asked him, "What baby?" He said he knew I was pregnant and that he'd been trying to do the right thing. He said he found a pregnancy test in the bathroom weeks ago, and that's why he's been watching what I eat and drink and why he proposed. He said he was stepping up. Then he said he didn't know if he had made a mistake, if this was the kind of mother I was going to be. I was literally so shocked and humiliated. I told him I'm not pregnant, but he just told me I don't need to lie. What? And in parentheses, she literally says, "I'm not pregnant." I ended up leaving and coming to my parents' house that night. I haven't been in his place since. He keeps trying to reach out to me to talk about it, but I'm not ready. That brings us to last night. My fiance's mom messaged me and asked me to come over and talk. She says relationships take effort and I shouldn't ruin my relationship over a little misunderstanding. I don't know what to do. I love my fiance, but I can't stop thinking if he never thought I was pregnant, would he have even proposed to me? I'm really rethinking the whole relationship. Am I the a-hole? So there is a quick update. I'm just going to put it out there. So a bunch of comments are asking about the pregnancy test my fiance found. I don't know why I didn't even question that when he said it. I think I was just in shock. I've never taken a pregnancy test at his house, so I don't know if he saw something and thought it was a test or if he's being crazy and making it up. I just messaged his mom back and I'm going to go over there to talk and figure out what I want to do. I do really like his family and I still love my fiance or boyfriend. I don't know what to call him now. He's never really done things to make me worry before, so I want to at least listen before I throw away everything. I posted the recent update to Reddit updates. Oh, so we have an update. So the main question, and I'll tell you the top comment was here saying, bigger question, who in your house is pregnant? Because obviously he is not ready for marriage or kids if he is going to find something like that and not have an actual conversation with you. As such, you don't need to be with him. Someone had said probably a COVID test.
And someone's like, this would be absolutely hilarious. I mean, that is true. Like if she literally was like, oh, what if he found something else than thinking it was a pregnancy test? Here's the thing. She never actually did think if it was a pregnancy test, then who is pregnant? Because it ain't her. And she knows that, but no one else knows that because, obviously he thinks she's pregnant, but she's not. So we're just going to go, straight to the update. And the update happened, I want to say at least, so the original was 2 days ago. This update happened just a day ago. Okay, so literally the next day she posted, yesterday I went over to my boyfriend's house and it did not go as expected. I honestly don't even know what I was expecting, but after reading some of your comments about whose test it was, or even if it even was a pregnancy test, I had to find out. My boyfriend was really happy to see me when I got there. I don't think his mom told him I was coming. He seemed really genuine and kept apologizing. His mom asked for us to sit down and she started crying and saying she doesn't want to ruin our relationship and she loves both of us and wants the best for us. Then she shows us a sonogram. It was his mom's pregnancy test. Literally all of this stupid drama because my boyfriend is an idiot. I'm glad you put that out there. He said he didn't even think his mom could get pregnant anymore because she's in her 40s. She's in her 40s, dude. I mean, she might have not hit menopause yet, obviously. Okay. Okay, wow. Because she's in her 40s. So the other possibility, wait a minute, she's in her 40s? So she must have had them young. Okay. Well, they're in their 20s. So, yeah, okay. So the other possibility was for it to be mine. But he didn't want to ask, so I could tell him myself. And in parentheses, it says, I love surprising people, so honestly, that does make sense. But then she goes on saying, but like it had been weeks. He could have said something after all that time. His mom said she didn't say anything at the party because she didn't know what she was going to do yet and didn't want everyone at the party finding out. But it still bothers me that she let me take the embarrassment instead, or at least tell us after in private instead of letting us not talk for over a week. Yeah, I do believe the mom could have reached out sooner. Like she's saying, oh, you need to talk. This is a misunderstanding. Like, come on, you're the reason for the misunderstanding. Like, you could have cleared it up within, again, I think I've said this in another story, cleared it up within 10 seconds. Just, hey, guys, don't say anything because I don't even know where I'm even going to go with this yet, but that was my pregnancy test. And don't tell anyone else, but you guys are in the clear. And then go from there. Then you guys, you and your OP and her fiance could work on their little communication error that could have been better. Okay. So I do kind of feel bad now that my boyfriend really thought I was pregnant and thought I wasn't taking it seriously. I talked to him about the engagement and if he meant what he said about stepping up. That's another thing. I don't like how he said, I only proposed to you because I'm stepping up. Like, dude, that was a lot to say in a moment that you were heated. So I don't, and that's what he says. He said he had already had the ring for a while. Okay, so he had a ring for a while. Then dude, don't say that. Don't say you were stepping up after that. So he said he had already had the ring for a while, but he was waiting for the right time. And when he saw the test, he thought of it as a sign and got excited thinking of us having a little family. Okay. He says he only said what he said at the party in the heat of the moment, thinking I was someone who would risk our baby like that. And he didn't actually mean it. Then he shouldn't have done it in front of everyone. That's super humiliating for you. Okay. I think you guys had some miscommunication and that could definitely be worked on. So, as of right now, so she says, and he didn't actually mean it. I think I believe him. As of right now, we aren't engaged anymore. We are still together. I told him we really need to work harder on communication if we want to make our relationship last. That's smart. I think that's smart. Break off the engagement, be together, go to counseling. There's premarital counseling that you can do even before you get engaged. Like, it's not bad. A lot of comments were saying he's a red flag and stuff, and I can see where you're coming from, but this was really the only time he's been like that. I think his intentions were sweet, but came off wrong. And that happens to a lot of people, okay? They have good intentions, but they do not come off sweetly or genuine or kind. Sometimes they can be a little harsh, and it comes from love, but that's where you need to communicate with them and tell them, hey, I don't like how you spoke to me that way. And I know you're doing this because you love me, but I think you could change. I think you could do that differently so it doesn't come off so jerk-like. I don't know. So intense. Okay, also a lot of people were saying, we are too young to get married. But my parents got married young and are still together, so I think it depends. If we do get engaged again, I told him to actually wait until he's ready and not when he thinks he needs to. I think that's perfect. Honestly, I think this is really smart and really mature of her. You know, she wants to, she wanted to hear him out because she's like, no, I need to hear him out. This doesn't happen very often, so I want to know why. And she got to know her reasoning, and she believes him. But yet, she still took a step back and said, hey, I think we need to break off the engagement for a little bit and just wait until we're ready for it. And I think at this point, we rushed into it, and for you, for other reasonings. And I think we'll be there. We'll work harder on our communication. And when that time comes, when we both agree mutually that we're ready, then you can do it. I honestly think that's super smart. I think this person is very mature for her age, 22 and 23. I think that's very mature. And just because you guys have a disagreement or something comes off wrong, don't you ever come up with someone that they said something that you're like, whoa, like that's not what you normally say, or that's not something that happens normally. So, I want to hear this person out. Like, we're all human. We all come off wrong on things sometimes. We say stupid things all the time. If we see a consistent pattern with it, that's when that's when it becomes more of a red flag. Because if it's going to be mistreating you constantly, then yes. But in this case, I think this was just miscommunication. And that is like the number one reason for a ton of things that go wrong in a relationship, is just not communicating well. And that's with any relationship, with friendships, with your relationships with families and friends and your spouses. Like, that is a huge just reason that everyone could always be stronger in. So I think this OP is very smart and mature, and I think they're going to go in a good direction. Family's off to being at a good pace again. So it's like I said, I think everything's going to go okay as long as they take that time and that little step back to work on that communication. So, okay, great. I like that story. Okay, next one.
Okay, this one's a fun one. I wanted to do this one. This one's from a year ago. This is from Am I the A-hole? Am I the a-hole for inviting a clown to my wedding and putting him in the pictures?
I mean, it's funny, but no.
Okay. So this is a throwaway account because obvious reasons. Why? Because there's a clown? 29 female. Oh, you know what? What if the clown's like the husband or... No, I'm kidding. All right. 29 female, married my hubby, 31 male, a few months ago. Neither of us were particularly interested in spending a boatload of money on a wedding no one would actually enjoy, so we were casual. The wedding was in the party room of a pizza place we love. It's in a recently renovated 19th century factory, so it's cool looking. Mm-hmm. And decided to let our friends and family bring their army of small children because pizza.
Yeah.
To entertain the kids, we decided to have a few carnival-themed games and snacks available, and we hired a clown, male 23, to do balloon animals. I know this clown.
It's a clown.
I know this clown. He is, yeah. He is a friend of my cousin's who has good clown credentials. He was great with the kids. We had the bright idea to invite the clown to be in some of our wedding photos as well. Anyhow, I noticed mother-in-law, female 60s, has been kind of distant since the wedding, but I didn't realize that she was pissed at us until she came to dinner last night. We got the wedding photos and picked our favorite, which is the two of us looking at each other dramatically with the clown standing next. Yep. So they're looking at each other dramatically with the clown standing next to us holding a big fake squeaky hammer like he's about to bonk my husband's head. We got it framed and put it up in the house. When my mother-in-law saw the photos, she lost it. She blamed me for embarrassing her and continuing to rub it in her face with the clown photos, and that I should have put my foot down and made sure her son had a classy wedding and not the clown show you put on. My husband told his mom to leave, but I'm honestly kind of shaken. The feedback from other family and friends have been positive, and I've had a good relationship with my mother-in-law thus far. So this was a surprise. I know a lot of people say that the wedding is for the family, not the couple, which isn't something I took seriously until now. And I'm wondering if I should have considered my mother-in-law's feelings more when putting together the party. So am I the a-hole for my clown show wedding?
Wedding is for the family, not the couple? That's not. No.
Probably back in the olden days, it was definitely more for the family than it was for the couple. But this is the modern world, okay? So you have the wedding you want.
The dad isn't selling you off and getting a prize out of it.
Exactly.
So no.
If we're really talking about it's for family and not for the couple, then
It's not an arranged marriage.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah, this is the 21st. No, the
wedding's for the couple, not the family. It's for the couple.
Yeah, definitely. So no, top comment, not the a-hole. A wedding is ultimately a celebration, and how you choose to celebrate it really is up to the couple. If you want a carnival for a wedding, then go nuts. Now that being said, clowns are a divisive form of entertainment. They can make a lot of people uncomfortable, and their style of entertainment can be invasive. Oh, yeah. I think you and your husband just need to let the situation cool down a bit and then have a conversation about how this was what you collectively wanted for your day. She's entitled to have not liked it, but it was special and fun for you two. OP responded, "Thank you," and understandable. Apart from the photos of the three of us, we did have him stay off to the side with the kids who wanted to hang out with him. So it wasn't like he was cutting the cake with us. But I also have watched a lot of true crime documentaries, so I can understand people's mixed feelings. Someone said, "Were there any photos of the three of you without the clown?" And OP said, "Sorry, what I meant was the three of us being me, my husband, and the clown. The clown does not appear in any photos with my mother-in-law." Yeah. And they're like, "Oh, gotcha. Are the photos of just two of you and without the clown?" And she's like, "Yes, plenty."
Of course. That makes sense.
And then someone's like, "Yeah, then she just needs to get over herself."
Yes, it's not, yeah.
I mean, let's see. And then she goes, "Yeah, we do have photos of just the three of us as well as just her and my hubby." So it's not even that she doesn't have any pictures. Like if all pictures had the clown in it, then I'd be like, okay.
I would say I'm like, that's kind of weird, but whatever. It's your wedding,
exactly,
so it
right?
doesn't matter.
You can't be judgmental. Like I will say for the mother-in-law, at least have like one nice picture of them as with the couple and her husband. And that's the thing. We didn't know that before until this, and now we know that she did. She had plenty of pictures without the clown in it. She just like, hey, we want a funny picture with the clown. And I love that they had like them looking so like lovingly with each other where there's a random clown there to bonk them on the head. Like that's hilarious. So
sounds like it's a couple that likes to have fun.
No.
That's the joke.
So the only pictures the clown was in were just with me and my husband, and we had plenty of photos, just the two of us. The family photos are all clown-free. We shared those with her and on our social media, but admittedly, the clown photos are our favorites and what we've featured on our own pages for the most part. A lot of her friends have reacted to those. The reactions have been positive to her faces, but maybe they're talking crap elsewhere. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe people are saying like, oh no, they had a clown at their party. And she thinks, I don't know. I honestly think she probably wanted to have them have a better wedding than being so casual. But if they didn't want that, they said we didn't want to spend a boatload of money on their wedding. They wanted it to be fun and casual. And that's what they wanted. Weddings don't have to be spectacular and crazy and expensive.
Well, it can be spectacular without having to be expensive.
They don't need to be crazy expensive and dramatic. They can have all those wonderful traits in a lower budget wedding. So that's just, how it goes. So, yeah.
It's not the last time you'll make her mad. I promise.
I don't think so. So, no, she's like, thank you so much for your thoughtful responses. I don't think anything could wreck the memories for me. It was our perfect day and nothing can take that away. And there you go. It was perfect for you. So mother-in-law was mad after the fact. So she just can't stand that clown, I guess.
Mother-in-law. She needs to be hit with an inflated hammer.
Right? No, we need a picture of mother-in-law. That's what we need. We need to do some photoshopping here and Photoshop the mother-in-law in that picture with him pretending to hit her with a hammer. That would be, she'd probably be so mad.
Nightmares.
And then with the Photoshop, you put like steam coming out of her ears and make her all red.
You don't need to make her a devil.
I know. Well, no, it was like a cartoon thing. You know the Looney Tunes that do that. So, that's our stories for the day. They were very random, all over the place. What did you guys think? Do you like them? Do you guys have any suggestions of what you prefer? So if you do, let me know. You can email me at the Reddit Randos at gmail.com. If you guys are new, you should like, subscribe, and follow us because then you can hear plenty more stories every week that I send these.
Smash the button.
Yeah, and if you guys have been listening along for a while now, you guys have been either here from the beginning or been listening for a while, you should also like, subscribe, and rate us because, if you are fellow fans, support. We need that support from you guys. So, anyways, we're, already getting through January into the new year. I feel like last year went by so quickly. So I wonder what this new year is going to bring us. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, definitely let us know and we'll just continue what we do. We'll just keep on kicking.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see you guys all next week.
Bye.
Bye.